I've been publishing a weekly list of Tampa Bay tech, nerd, and entrepreneur events on my blog, Global Nerdy, since 2017. It started as both a job search and out of frustration with not knowing what was going on in the local tech scene. There'd be a whole bunch of meetups or gatherings that I missed because I didn't know they were happening, and I was kicking myself for it. But I also figured if that was happening to me, it was also happening to other people, and I figured I should do something about it. So I did. What I started to do was compile a list of tech, entrepreneur, and nerd events by combing Meetup and Eventbrite, and then manually putting together a weekly list of what was happening on each day. People started relying on it, and I couldn't stop. I said, I guess I'm doing that now. As Tampa Bay's tech scene grew, so did the list. It started with 10 events a week, then it became 20, and currently it's easily over 100 events every week. That became really time consuming. Putting it together manually was a bit too much. It ate up my entire Saturday afternoon, and I decided it was time to take the programmer's approach. It was time to automate it. Let me show you what I made. I implemented my automation in Python, which is my preferred programming language for sketching out ideas. And I did it in a Jupyter Notebook, which is my preferred sketchbook for Python. As you can see here, what this allows me to do is it allows me to mix notes to myself and documentation with code all in the same place. It leaves me the freedom to explore ideas and give myself notes so that I'm not looking at the code a few months later on and going, why did I do it this particular way? I can't remember. This is a continual work in progress, which means that I am continually learning as I build and refine the application. Here's the first part. This is the part that automates creating a WordPress blog post. This is where I learned vibe coding by providing a spec to Claude Code and it providing me working code that creates a skeleton article within my WordPress blog. I figured, you know what? This is something relatively simple. Let's hand it off to my junior programmer friend, Claude Code. The second part of my application is actually the first thing that I implemented, which is the part of the code that scrapes meetup.com for relevant events and builds me a checklist. I use that checklist to apply some human judgment and say, okay, this event is actually relevant and belongs in the list. This other event is a real estate developer event, and that does not count. For every event in the checklist, the application makes a call to DeepSeek to have it evaluate the relevance of each event on a scale of 0 to 100. 0 is completely irrelevant, 100 is totally relevant, based on the description of the event and whether it's relevant to developers, techies, or nerds. Anything that's over 66% relevant is automatically checked, but I can apply my own human judgment and I can decide whether to check an item or not, whether I feel it's relevant. I can also click this disclosure triangle, which gives me the AI's explanation as to why it rated that event with that particular relevance rating. The important thing that I learned is using AI requires judgment. Use AI and automation for things that are mechanical and are rote and involve drudgery, whereas things that require taste, judgment, human intuition, keep yourself in the loop for that. That is where the human shines.